Blaine Athorn, and welcome to this Friday's update call, Friday, November 28th, 2014. You know, here in the United States, we just recently celebrated a holiday called Thanksgiving. And for those of you who live in the United States, I hope you had a super happy Thanksgiving. But as gym members around the world, Thanksgiving is not a foreign concept. Thanksgiving is actually a day that we celebrate every single day. Because one of our most valuable gym principles is to be thankful and grateful and appreciative for all the blessings that we have in our life. You know, I was watching a documentary recently on how Thanksgiving began, and it was really giving thanks to the earth. You know, when the Native Americans and the Pilgrims actually came together in harmony, the Native Americans treated the land with respect. They never took more than they needed. And that holiday that was created was really coming together and saying, let's give thanks to the universe for providing us with the fruits, the vegetables, the meats, the foods that were able to nurture their bodies and sustain their life. When you think about it, we have so many things to be thankful and grateful and appreciative for. So as we think about this, in being thankful and grateful and appreciative every day of our life, let's also keep in mind those individuals who might be less fortunate than us. As Troy McClain says, and even in his update call last week, is the best way to get ahead is to give back. So let's reflect on those individuals who might not have the same advantages that you and I have. Let's also reflect on all the wonderful advantages we do have, the fact that you do have food on the table, and the fact that as a gym member, we not only have the ability to feed our bodies, we have the opportunity to feed our minds. You know, we constantly say that we have a buffet table of information and education and networking and opportunities. Make sure to access as much of that buffet table as possible. Feed your mind each and every day, and you will see growth that will occur personally and professionally, and you'll be able to help others do the same. You know, as we start to conclude 2014, I encouraged you in an update call just a few weeks ago, don't throttle back, throttle forward. Finish 2014 strong and prepared to launch into 2015 with success momentum. Reflect on the wins that you've had in 2014. Reflect on your successes and set your goals for a new year. And make a commitment to yourself that 2015 is going to be your best year yet. Not your best year ever, your best year yet. Because the following year will be even better than 2015. And the year after that will be even better because we have some dynamic opportunities in store for you. Although we've covered a lot of ground in the last 6 months or so, you ain't seen nothing yet. So get ready as a gym member to be able to access more value, more benefits, more personal development, more personal growth, and get ready to share those gifts with other people so they can have and do and be more in their life. You know, recently I've been combing through the archive of webinars that we have and some of the recent webinars that we've released. Again, make sure to access as much of this education and information as you possibly can, because that is tremendous value for you. When you break down a membership in gym to $5 a day, and you consider all of the other things that we might spend money on that give us zero return in our life, the best investment that you can make is investing in yourself, is investing in others, is investing in education, in information that moves your ball forward. You know, we just recently released a webinar called Numerology Part 1 with Michelle Arbeau. It's a fascinating topic. If you haven't watched that webinar, I'm going to encourage you to do so. We had great webinars by Brian Tooley, and Brian Tooley spoke to our Level 6 members at Family Reunion. What a tremendous resource that is available to you right at your fingertips. Brian Tooley, a former counterintelligence agent, is a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge and understands the gym principles. He has a webinar, Effective Questioning, Part 1 and Part 2. He also has recorded other webinars for your benefit. Recently, we had a webinar with Cynthia Morrow, what 97% of women do with their self-worth. What 97% of women do with their self-worth. So immediately, all of you guys that are listening to this audio update say, well, that's not a webinar that I should watch. I watched that webinar. I would encourage every man and woman to watch that webinar, because when you learn what 97% of women do with their self-worth, if you have a significant other, if you have a spouse, if you have a sister, you have a daughter, you have a friend, and you find out that some of the things that they think about themselves or some of the negative self-talk that they might share, you need to uplift them and remind them of how valuable they are, of their beauty both internally and externally, how much potential they have in life, and uplift and build up that other person, whether they're a male or a female, because sometimes the biggest victim to our success is ourselves. It's our own negative self-thoughts. It's our own negative thinking. It's putting ourselves down as opposed to lifting ourselves and others up. I would encourage you to watch that webinar. We've had social media expert George Siebold. This is an area I personally need a lot of help in. It's an area where I am a neophyte. I'm gaining tremendous information and tremendous knowledge. I was just on the phone with Troy McClain going, you know what, I'm ready to step into the new millennium. I'm 14 and a half, almost 15 years behind the curve. But I'm learning and growing and expanding my opportunities and my learning in areas where I need assistance. I'm going to encourage you to really plug into these webinars. The Action Plan for Success, Debt Management by Troy McClain. Fear and the Loss of Detachment by Chris McGarrahan, and the list goes on and on and on. Do you realize that we have hundreds of hours of archived webinar content right available to you at your fingertips 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And that library of information cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to build over a period of more than 5.5 years since Jen began, almost 6 years now. And it continues to grow. We're launching new webinars and new webinar content week after week after week after week. So I'm going to encourage you to access this information and plug in to all the benefits that Jen is making available to you and others. Now, we also have free Saturday trainings. Chris McGarrahan talked about this. Troy McClain has talked about it. Troy McClain has a free Saturday training coming up December 6th in Seattle, Washington. The information that Troy McClain shares, you have to realize companies on the outside pay him thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to share the information that you can access with Jen absolutely free. You know, I heard Troy McClain doing a program for Lockheed Martin when I was teaching a Jen free Saturday training in Orlando. They look to Troy for information and education, to come in as an outside trainer, and they hang on to every word that he shares and pay him handsomely to share that information. I'm going to encourage you to attend his program in Seattle, Washington. I'm going to encourage you to attend my program in Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to be teaching a program on that very same day, December 6th, and it's called Building Your Success Momentum. And that's exactly what we're going to do that day. Each and every person is going to exit that Saturday training with success momentum. We're going to finish 2014 strong, and you are, in fact, going to launch into 2015 with momentum, and you're going to tear it up in 2015. You will do more, be more, and have more in 2015 if you attend this program. That is my personal commitment and my personal guarantee. We're going to talk about things like establishing your own personal momentum action plan. We're going to talk about increasing your score and creating more wins in your life. And I've got some bonus items prepared for you. We're going to have an actual demonstration of a new improved membership overview meeting. So as we go out there and we share the gift of gin with others and we inspire others to join gin, you might be scratching your head saying, I really need to wrap my head around, Blaine. How do we promote all of the enhanced member benefits that we're going to be offering to people if someone is brand new and hasn't yet experienced gin? So I am going to actually conduct a mock membership overview meeting after the lunch break on the December 6th program in Chicago, Illinois. That is going to be video recorded. We will then post that for your review. So those of you who are doing membership overview meetings, maybe you're doing some local chapter meetings, maybe even if you're just sharing the gift of gin with one person, 2 people, 5 people, or a room full of 50 people or 100 people, it's going to give you a positive track to run on to explain the benefits of gin to other people. We're also going to be at that program doing a special networking session. This is your opportunity to shine. You're going to have an opportunity to share with gin brothers and sisters who you are, what you do. And therefore, if there are other people in that room that would like to know more about who you are and more about what you do, we're going to practice the principle of members helping other members. Oh, and by the way, we're going to laugh, we're going to learn, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate 2014, and we're going to celebrate in advance the successes that we're going to enjoy in 2015. So at any of these free Saturday trainings, because we're in the holiday season, I'm going to also extend to you the opportunity to invite an associate or invite perhaps a past member, someone who maybe was involved in gin in the past, maybe they disengaged. Let them see gin today. Let them see where gin is today and where we're headed in the future, and inspire them to re-engage in the global information network so they can do more, be more, and have more in their life. This is the season of both giving and receiving. I, from the bottom of my heart, want you to receive every bit of value that the global information network can provide to you. But I also want you to share that with other people. As Troy McClain said in last week's update call, that is one of the best things that you can not only do for yourself, but do for others, is give them the gift of gin. Give them the gift of greater success. Give yourself the gift of living a purpose-driven life and help others do the same. That is my message this week to all of you. I hope to see all of you on December 6th. And if I don't see you personally in the Illinois program, I hope that you're at the Seattle, Washington program, and I look forward to being with you, to being able to shake your hand, give you a hug, and seeing you soon at a gin event. This is Blaine Athorn. Have an awesome week. I look forward to seeing you soon.